Hello, A-Sven-gers, it's me, Svenny McG. QRD reached out to me a little while ago, wanted to send me this controller for review. Here's me unboxing it back at the end of March. Alright, here's the packaging for the QRD Stellar T5 wireless Joy-Cons for Switch and Switch OLED. Side of the box shows that we've got 6-axis gyroscope, we've got adjustable dual motors vibration, and we've got turbo. 500 milliamp hour dual battery. It has wake up function capabilities and Nintendo Switch compatible across their whole product line. Hall effect joysticks. Everyone's talking about this these days. This of course means it's the old style method, which means that you're going to have all the functionality, but you're not going to get drift. 8 colors of an LED light. Again, button mapping turbo, micro switch button, and we've got macro back keys. Inside the box, there's a controller. So it looks like the D-pad actually popped out. Lifting the lid here. Here are, oh cool, they put this in place just to kind of protect those. So like I said, the D-pad popped out, but should be no issue just popping her back in place. Operating instructions. Okay, so it kind of shows you different spots here, and then you got to kind of look for your language preference here. But so going down, of course, there's our sticks. There's all our button mappings. There's a vibration key button. Turbo will be on the front. Your pairing buttons. So again, connection easiest will be to slide the rails onto the Switch, of course. Motor vibration. So this will be able to toggle. We'll be able to map buttons to these back buttons here. Turbo function. Here's the details for programming with the macro buttons. And then controlling the lights on the controller. So again, we're going to take a look at all this stuff. The controller itself, right away, I'll tell you, that feels really nice. This has a rubberized grip on the back. I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy into place. So you can see there's a little marker up here, so I can't have the T face up. It's going to have to face down. And just like that, it's in place. First impression, the D-pad actually feels great. I'm not a big fan of the disc style ones. So this is just a literal crosspad, and you can hear the clickiness for each one. I want to go back and reiterate this. This slipped out of here. This didn't pop off the controller. They give you a disc style one. This has a swappable D-pad, and I quite literally just stated I don't love the flat style pads, but I know some of you do. So if you want to actually install this guy, you can, but right now that's the one I'm going to go with for my playtesting. But check it out, absolutely an option. My mistake for pointing that out at the beginning, that's actually included in there. Note, of course, you do get a USB-C cable for charging and for pairing. And as I showed you right at the beginning, these were around your D-pads for safe shipment here. Controllers feel good. Whoa, listen. That's awesome. Really nice micro switch buttons up there. All the buttons feel good, keys feel good. Oh, we're starting to light it up. Again, my first initial impression of this one is a good one. It feels really nice. Nice ergonomic grip here. That rubber is great on the back here. A little bit of looseness in here. Would have liked that to be a little bit tighter, but it's not going to affect my gameplay any. And I really like the aesthetic on the outside here. I like how it's clear, but it's not plain and blank underneath. Look at all the actual like little designs and effect that they put in there. These little shapes. I think it looks really, really nice. So here's hoping it works well. Also, one other thing. Look at this, of course, when it's in gameplay. These are, of course, 2 separate pieces. This is just a piece of plastic that you can make them into a Pro controller, but these will slide onto your Switch and you'll be able to play handheld mode with these nice ergonomic grips. They both have their own batteries. That's why it plays in here. That's why it says dual battery on the packaging. Again, this is my absolute first impressions. It is currently Good Friday. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to play with it for a while now. We're going to try it all out. There's a look at the back buttons here. Again, the vibration buttons, your mapping buttons. We're going to try this all out. We'll let this elapse for a couple weeks so I get a fair chance to give this controller an actual trial, and I'll let you know what I think. All right, now like I said, that unboxing was back in March, so I've now had a few weeks. We're into May. I've had a few weeks to try this out, and I'm going to tell you, spoiler alert, it's great. Let's have a closer look into some of these features that make it such a cool controller. Once you have the controller paired with your Switch, which is just as simple as sliding it in like any other controller, for a third-party controller, it does have wake up. So push the home button, turns it on. I know that wake up doesn't sound like the biggest deal, but not all third-party controllers are capable of doing that. The turbo is very easy to use. Either joypad has it. There's the little T's in the two corners here. So when I push down T and I press it once, then you can see it triggers it. So here it's going to do quick bursts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to want to get that one up. Doing it a second time gives you auto. Now I don't even have to press it. Definitely a great feature for running gun games. Of course, from here, when I'm ready to turn it off, I'll just hold down the turbo and press it a third time, and it stops. If you can hear here, I made comment of it at the unboxing, but the ABXY and the triggers have micro switches. So you can hear, very clicky. I love it. Look at how fast. This is me doing it, and this is not turboed. As you saw in that opening there, I clearly wasn't aware that this had swappable D-pads. So you can use the disc style, or you can go ahead and use the D-pad that I'm using right now. This is my preference. I prefer to have a D-pad that's more capable. However, the option of having either one of them, swapping them out, I think that's great. I haven't seen any other controller that isn't an expensive type, that an Elite, that gives you this type of an option. So to see this in your standard controller here, pretty cool. As you've likely noticed, around the thumbsticks, it actually lights up with LEDs. We can change this by holding the turbo and pressing down on the stick. Red, yellow, blue, green, purple, orange, white, and the rainbow RGB. I'm going to dim the light here. I want you to see this. The controller actually kind of bleeds out a little bit. And again, that's by design, because this controller here, this is see-through, right? This isn't just an opaque material. So it actually allows the color to kind of seep through. And I think that's cool. Love the way it kind of just comes through. And again, it just gives it a really unique effect here. So good on them for trying something different. And I've said it right at the very opening of my first impressions that I thought like all the design here was really unique for the controller. And yeah, I still think it looks great. Also of note with the colors here is when you hold down the turbo and you double tap it, you'll actually get the breathing effect. And it actually starts going through the various different colors available. Breathing them in and breathing them out again. Cool effect. On the back of the controller here, you'll see these little vibration buttons. Again, they're dual motor. And when I press the button on here, you can hear the vibration. Right now, I'm going to hit the vibration. We'll set it to 100. Now we're going to go 75, 50, 30, and then off. And that's just by repeatedly pressing it. When I press it again from 0, it'll go back to 100. Of course, this controller will charge its 500 milliamp hour batteries while it sits on your Nintendo Switch and in the dock position. However, it's worth noting that it actually has its own USB-C power ports on the bottom here. So if you were playing in this handheld format and one of the controllers started running low, you can actually plug it in via USB-C and start charging it. Thought that was pretty cool. Again, here on the back of the controller, we have these mappable buttons. Now what's neat is they do have macros, so you can actually program it like forward punch and save that to one of the buttons. Then if you're in like a fighting game like that and you push the button, it'll just automatically trigger that. The other thing you can do that I usually showcase in a video like this for anyone that has a mappable button, I like to program my bumpers up here to down here when I'm playing like a first-person shooter. Reason being that in case I'm in a firefight and I need to actually continue to trigger, I don't need to change my ammo or change my loadout here. I can continue shooting, and then underneath, I can just change my guns by clicking like this. Fire, and go back and forth, changing my loadout. The controller also has 6-axis gyro. So again, good for games like this, Kirby Tilt and Tumble. Of course, if you wanted to play your Nintendo Switch Sports, you can take this off, put on a strap, then you can go ahead and start doing your tennis or bowling or whatever you'd like. Again, another cool feature that this controller has. And guys, of course, it's so important these days to know that this controller has Hall effect joysticks. You know how quickly that sticks can start getting drift and what an absolute pain it is. I'm not kidding when I say most of my Joy-Cons now have drift in some fashion. And so having a controller that cannot get drift is just so incredibly important. Hall effect was the way that these controllers used to be made back in the day, and of course when everything moved to mechanical parts, the parts start failing. So again, very important now to have Hall effect. QRD knew what they were doing when they put this one together. It's worth noting too that this controller is compatible with iOS, Android, and PC in addition to your Nintendo Switch family of games. If you're interested in picking it up, make sure you check out the description. I do have an affiliate link, and like I said, just all the pros with the controller. A lot of cool features here. I mentioned it right in the beginning when I first picked it up. I really like the rubber on the back here. It's very comfortable, and it actually just feels great in your hand. I actually don't have any cons at this point. Like I said, it gives you some of the features that the Nintendo Joy-Cons do not. You can use it as a regular controller. You can use it in handheld mode the way I am right now. Let me know if you've tried any other products from QRD, and if you have, let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate hearing from everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, guys, because you know it always helps grow my channel. And until I hear from you guys and see you soon, please take care and be good to each other. Bye now.